Week 6 is in the books.
I still don't know what a good NFL team is.
What a wild and crazy book it is so far, and it's not going to get any better this week.
Oh my God!
No.
I think this was the week that I realized, my God, there are a lot of bad teams in this league right now.
There are a lot of there's a lot of mid teams in this league.
Yes.
There's only a handful of truly good teams. The parity has never been greater.
Oh my God! Yeah, like
it's true, but it's also not entirely enjoyable to watch.
No,
like I mean, we're at a point where it's like Tom Brady is going downhill. Russell Wilson is fastly going downhill. Rodgers is going downhill. Like the two best quarterbacks in the league are Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, which we kind of knew. But then the drop
in
off
that
after
second
that
tier
feels kind of like a little too drastic. Because who's in that next tier? Like Lamar? Because he hasn't exactly done anything to really push the Ravens past the threshold of going from good to contender.
I got a hot take on that one.
Oh boy,
Cousins.
You know,
he's kind of ridden that line his entire career. He's definitely a serviceable starter, and he has glimpses of fucking brilliance.
And then he plays. And then he plays a game that you're just like, oh yeah,
and you're
rising the ranks by virtue of just being himself. But it's not like he's getting better. Everyone's just getting
worse. Yeah,
he's just in the corner. He's like default.
He is the NFL's version of Luigi Wins by doing absolutely nothing. But in all seriousness, in that second tier, you could also put Herbert for sure.
When healthy. Right now, the problem is that right now he's not 100% him.
Oh, not only that, but he's missing Keenan Allen and his other best receiver, I believe. So
no, Mike.
Not Mike Williams. He's missing. I know he's missing more than just Keenan
Allen, but I think Mike Williams is the second best receiver on that team.
He's always been the deep threat though, so he only gets like 2 or 3 catches a game, but he gets 80 yards a game.
But he also gets value from the best corners going to Keenan Allen. So it's like now that the best receiver's on him, I don't think he's doing as well. Yeah, I could really use Keenan Allen back for fantasy, by the way.
I actually get Hopkins back real soon.
You do.
The problem is my issue right now is running backs because I had Akers, and
he's on the way out.
He's on the way out, dude. He's already outside. He's just waiting for the bus. He doesn't know where that bus is going to take him yet, but
yeah. I mean,
they're going to send him somewhere.
They're going to send him somewhere stupid.
Yeah, it's going to be awful. I can't wait.
Detroit.
I'm
kidding. You just said somewhere else.
Maybe Arizona? No, that would be within the division. They wouldn't do that.
Where would he go?
I don't know.
Because he's a pass catching back. He's not really a good backfield back, you know.
I think I said this before, but I'll say it again. Kansas City, they just cleared some cap room. And I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
But they're using that. They're going to use that cap room on somebody else. You know it. They're not using that on Cam Akers.
Yeah, I kind of agreed with what Puzz was talking about earlier, where it's like, oh, they're going to get a pass rusher. I just don't know who.
Could be the Seahawks.
No, I think Kenneth Walker is going to do he's going to do okay.
I'm trying to think. Maybe New Orleans because. What's his name down there? Kamara's not really gonna be long term down there, right?
I don't know. I can't read the fucking Saints, man. I don't know what they are.
What happened to the Saints?
Sean Payton left.
Yeah,
that's really what happened.
He's gone, and then
he's gone, and now the Saints are they have all this talent, and
they lost the quarterback and the coach, right?
Yeah, Breeze. You lose Breeze, you lose Peyton, and
you're just a shell of a football team.
Yeah.
Oh, he also like left the keys on the table for Jameis Winston.
Yeah, it's not great.
Jameis and Taysom.
Don't destroy the house while I'm going there, Jameson.
Packers are mid.
Jameis.
The Ravens are mid.
The 49ers could be good if healthy. The problem is they're not healthy, so right now they're mid.
Yeah.
Same with the Chargers. They could be good, but they just charger everything.
Well,
Denver's bad though. Like,
Denver is not a good team.
Like the thing is, they have a good defense. Like
they do. The defense is
like,
the strongest part of their team for sure.
But their offense is cheeks. Like, oh my god!
During the Monday Night
Chef
Football
Russell is
game,
cooking banana and bologna sandwiches.
I regret paying attention to any of that game. And the thing is, I had to because the Yankee game got rained out. So,
and I had to because of massive fantasy implications.
Yes. You're yelling, "Stop holding on Akers runs!"
I'm not kidding.
No,
at least
Akers?
five.
No,
Eckler. At least 5 of Eckler's runs got called back for holding.
And they were good runs too.
Yeah, and I probably lost about 30 to 40 yards worth of points because of holds.
And then you have to also factor in the holding puts them back, and then so now it becomes a passing down instead of a rushing down. So
which is still okay for me because it's Herbert, but then he would be throwing screens in the flat to Eckler that would go for negative yards, so I wouldn't even get any points from the PPR.
Which here's another thing. The coaches in the league are
Brandon Staley. You are terrible. You are terrible.
Like, there is a specific set of coaches where, for the past couple of years, they've been like, "Oh, this is a good coach," and like after last year with the Chargers, I was like, "Oh, okay, Staley. He seems like he could be a good coach." Now, my opinion of him is, he is god awful. What the fuck?
No, he was like this last year too. The Chargers have the same problem with Staley that they had with Anthony Lynn, is they have no idea how to manage time. None.
Yeah, I think the difference is that Lynn's offense also wasn't very good. Staley at least can run a decent, well, even though he's a defensive coach, but
and Staley goes for it like it's mad, and he goes for it 10 times a game.
Yeah, it's like, did you see the latest Gridiron Heights?
I did.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm going for 2. Coach, you're at 19.
Coach, you're at 19. Like that should have been Staley instead of Zach Taylor.
Yeah, but Taylor has that issue as well, which I honestly thought until they made the Super Bowl, I thought Zach Taylor was going to get fired at the end of last year.
If they had another bad year, then you definitely could have seen it.
That was going to be okay, let's not get the guy who had a cup of coffee with what's his face in LA. What is it?
McVay.
Yes, McVay. Because it was that time period. It's just like, oh, you had lunch with McVay? You're hired.
What is this, Hollywood?
Yes, it really is.
It really is. It actually is.
NFL is really Hollywood. Now we got drama with Zack Snyder. Fucking
Dan Snyder
trying to blackmail
Dan Snyder. Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Well, the Snyder cut. I mean, as in the NFL is trying to cut Snyder out of the league.
Oh, I see how your brain works. Okay.
Ooh, what a segue.
That was a good one.
What a save.
That was a good one.
So but go and try and blackmail the owners. Let's see how that works. That's gonna work well. And the first one to call him out is Jim Irsay, who has no dirt on him because he makes all of his dirt public.
Yeah, Jim Irsay is a man who gives 0 fucks.
Exactly. He will do cocaine on a public toilet, and he will let you record it because honestly, he doesn't care. It's not
I'm pooping, paparazzi. Come watch.
Exactly.
No, Jim Irsay. We already have enough footage of you pooping.
It's galaxy brain moves, just having everybody film his dirty laundry, because then when it actually came time to remove Dan Snyder, there is no dirty laundry. He will just full blown go, Get the
How's
fuck out of the league.
how's the Raiders owner? It's not Al Davis, right? It's like Mike Davis or something.
It's bull haircut.
Yeah, that's all I know about him, and I know he's a Davis
Yes.
because he's the son of Al Davis, and I guess Al Davis and Ralph Wilson, the owner of the previous owner of the Bills, was big.
Where honestly, there's probably more dirt and arrests on the Raiders roster than there is in the ownership.
Well, I don't think he's really. I think he's squeaky clean because all he does is just follow a normal person's life. Like he just like there's that footage of just him eating a burger at an In-N-Out in like jorts, like which is still just wild to me.
Yes, Oakland's wild. Well, now it's Vegas. I mean, Vegas is wild. Yeah, I mean.
Well, here's a question for you regarding the Snyder stuff. Snyder, if he's gone, which one of the fucking global elite people are gonna buy it? Yeah, it's gonna be Bezos. Bezos has got to be like a minus 111, like 110 on a bet for that.
Yes, it's well. Granted, I think aren't the Broncos also selling?
No, they already sold, didn't they?
Oh, that's right. They sold to the guys Walmart, which actually makes sense because now they're a great value football team.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
That was the joke. Yeah.
Well done. You got there.
But shit. Yeah, it'd have to be Bezos.
I mean, I don't want it to be. Like when Pagula came out and bought the Sabres, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like I had no idea who he was. Like give me more like millionaires that I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like fuck off with Musk, fuck off with Bezos. I'm sure I can name a couple other ones if I was angry enough.
Give me more Steve Cohens in the world.
Well,
give me like an actor that has like give me like The Rock. Like have The Rock buy a fucking team.
Oh, pretty soon it'll be LeBron.
Would.
Yeah,
no,
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, right now, because they're doing that thing where they buy conglomerate groups and then they buy like
they partner groups.
Like the Fenway Group owns the Red Sox, but I believe they also own the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
It's and then they own like some random Premier League team.
Well, the NFL might not permit that. I don't really know, but they might be a little bit more picky with their owners.
I mean, they have the right to do so, but at the same time,
because like they literally can't just I
think they would rather have a group of owners who are going to be hands off and just let football people manage the team than have someone like the next Jerry Jones take over.
That is so weird, actually, because like if they sell the team, doesn't the owners have to approve the new owners to buy the team?
They do, but they would I think approve the group, and they would basically have to look at every little individual person. Granted, like when they have those groups, 99% of them are no-name millionaires, semi-billion, like billionaires, that type of stuff, where they're silent
partners.
Yeah,
they just want money.
And then they'll choose one guy who gets to be the face. Like the Marlins did that with Derek Jeter.
Yeah, well, that's like the chair, the head, the lead.
Yeah, and the A-Rod did the same thing when he bought the Timberwolves.
Exactly.
Oh, well, do you guys want to pivot to recap of local games? Because we are all three of us are happy campers.
We are very happy. The state. Okay.
Pigs among guinea pigs.
To make Dawson Knock happy, New York is 5-1, but the greater area.
No. Fuck.
The greater area is 14-4.
Well, Brendan said it earlier that as long as I think it was Brendan at least, that he's like, if we're winning, we're all together. But if we're losing, you guys aren't in New York anymore.
Yeah, then we're in Jersey.
Yeah, then you're Jersey.
Then we're in Jersey.
Damn you, NYC! Technically, we play in Jersey.
Yep. Who wants to go first?
Usually go by time, and that's one of you guys.
So it would be one of
Mine
us.
was a 4 p.m. game.
All right, I'll go first. So, I expected this game to be the humbling game, and for a while it was. It was another tale of a Giants game this season, where it was be shitty in the first half, not really have much of a semblance of offense, and then magically fix everything after halftime. I'm pretty sure we went into halftime down 20-10. And then we just didn't let the Ravens score again in the second half, just like with the Packers. So
Crazy.
the defense is doing a great job of clamping down and making adjustments. The the offense is waking up when it needs to. This isn't your dad's Giants of, all right, we're going to have one great drive a game and score a touchdown, and that's about it.
Then hang up your hat.
Oh, the Adam
Yeah.
Gates special.
Right. And
Hey, listen, we don't use that word here, all right? That is a banned name on this
the thing
podcast.
is, what is holding them back from being a great team, and like, I won't lie, I'm getting sucked into the trap of the hype, because like, I think Rex Ryan put it best on Get Up the other day. I think the Monday episode, where he's like, I look at their schedule, and then his voice gets like really high. He's like, they could be 9-1. Like, we could really be 9-1. That is totally within the realm of possibility now that we beat Baltimore. But I think what is holding them back right now is themselves. They need to play a full 60-minute game like that, and then you have no more reservations. If they can put 60 minutes together, hell, if they can put 45 minutes of that together, my confidence in them will go way up.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm ready to buy in. I'm ready to stop being skeptical. But that's the last hurdle they need to clear. Is I need to see from quarter one, I need to see them play a good game and not play this catch-up game where you're banking on the halftime adjustments to win the game.
Right.
Player-wise, okay. Danny had a great game. Another game plan schemed around what he does well. And he...
No, just kidding.
The one fumble he had did not matter.
This time.
In the end. Yeah, because it was on the last play of the half, and he was gearing up for a Hail Mary. He was revving it up in the wind-up, and then he got stripped. So it didn't really matter in the end. It was just a throwaway play. Saquon had a good game, like nothing overly special, I think. But it was a decent all-around game by the offense. Danny didn't make any mistakes outside of that strip. Another game of no interceptions and no bad fumbles. So he's up to like 4 in a row now. So credit to them for, basing the playbook around what he can do, and what he does well. Defense played out of their mind in the second half. Did an unbelievable, like, sometimes there were plenty of runs where Lamar was Lamar and would break off 20-yard runs, and it fucking sucked because it always seemed to happen in a big down where they could have gotten off the field.
I hate when that happens, yeah.
And other than that, though, how many times did we sack Lamar? I think we got him a couple of times. So we were able to get pressure. Oh, we only sacked him twice, but the most important, when it was needed most, when the Giants were up by 4 with 2 minutes left, and the drive before that, Lamar fumbles the snap, scrambles to his right, throws kind of across his body, and Julian Love intercepts it. That was our first interception of the year.
Yeah.
In week 6.
Hey, there's a...
But it came at
a good time. Yeah.
It came at a critical time.
Yeah.
So they get the ball back with a minute and a half or so, and what happens? They get pressure on Lamar again. He loses the ball, and the Giants fall on it, and they ice the game out. That is a game where, even as recently as last year, the defense gives up 3 chunk plays, and they give up a touchdown, and they lose. And who gets the strip? is the man who said in the preseason in an AMA on Reddit, who do you want to sack the most? He said Lamar Jackson, Kayvon Thibodeau got the strip, Leonard Williams got the recovery, and Saquon had the presence of mind not to pull a Nick Chubb and run it in for a touchdown. He slides at the 2-yard line to give us the first down and guarantee the victory. I don't see, I've been saying this all week, I do not see how Jacksonville is a 75% favorite to win.
I really don't.
I don't get it. Unless they're, like, I think their run defense is pretty good. So if they're going to force Daniel Jones to beat them, I think they have a solid chance. Their offense is very wishy-washy. Like, they bounce between having good offensive days and then having terrible offensive days. Also, Evan Ingram guaranteed this victory, so you know he's going to jinx it. So I really don't know what's going to happen in this game. I should feel more confident than I do. I'm not at the point of saying this is a trap game.
But
I don't know. I can't say confidently they're going to win. I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game like throughout because I think both defenses are going to do a good job of shutting down each offense. So I can see this being like a 20-17 game or something like that.
Mm.
But that is what we're looking forward to next week.
All right, I guess that means it's my turn. I guess I'm gonna put my cards on the table. And going into the Packer game, I kind of figured that this would be the game where the Jets came down to earth. I figured, okay, Packers are gonna come back from London. They're gonna be pissed. Rodgers is gonna be pissed. It's at Lambeau, which is pretty tough to win at. Apparently, if you're not the New York Jets. And I was just like, man, like, just keep it close. And for the first half, they did. It was a 3-3 game.
It was 3-3 at halftime.
It was not much offense at all. It was almost 10-3, but Sauce Gardner missed the pick six by about
because the nose of that ball hit the ground.
It didn't help with the catch. Like it touched a blade of grass. It should have been a pick six. But
the ball touched grass, therefore it is more valid.
You just admitted it.
Anybody on the internet.
You just admitted it touched the ground.
It touched grass. Then things fell apart for Green Bay. And I mean the blocked punt, Braxton Berrios doing that jet sweep thing that he just does really well. Our run game was very solid. Our defensive line gave Aaron Rodgers nightmares. Like, holy crap, Quinnen Williams. I mean,
defensive player of the week.
He did it all. I mean, he blocked the field goal. He had I think 2 sacks, 6 pressures, something like that. Even though all that ended up only amounting to a 68 PFF grade, which fuck you PFF. He did it all. But it was also like a whole effort from the defensive line. Like Quinnen got through. I think Sheldon Rankins got through. Vinny Curry got through. JFM, I think he might have forced a fumble, or maybe that was Quinnen. I'm not sure. But I know he got through. Like the whole defensive line got through. Sauce played great. DJ Reed played great. It was just defensively such a fantastic showing, which is something I think we kind of sorely needed, because defensively, I've been a little critical of the Jets. I think that they sometimes get dinked and dunked on, and Rodgers could not do that this week. Like, he was always going for the big play, and he was,
Why won't they run the football?
Yes. Thank you, Crossy. Offensively for the Jets, though, not overly impressive, especially from Zach Wilson. But I feel like that it was less on him and more on the fact that just the wide receivers were covered. They weren't getting much separation. And if they were, they weren't the primary read. I think Wilson has to do a little bit better. But this was a game where Breece Hall and the run game just kind of took over. And that sequence at the end in the red zone where they basically had like 9 straight plays inside the 3 and didn't get a touchdown out of it at all was kind of frustrating. But at the same time, I get it, because you don't want to pass and accidentally throw an interception or, God forbid, a pick 6 at that point. But telegraphing the run just wasn't doing it for me. But in the end, we clobbered Green Bay. Like, more so than I thought they were. I'm like, oh, if they're going to win, they're going to win by like a score. I didn't think they were going to win by 3 scores. And just, suddenly everyone's thinking that the Jets are for real. And we're heading to Denver, where last year we got shut out. So we know that we know what their defense is capable of. However, Russell Wilson is garbage. There's no other way to say it. Like, I watched that Monday night game. I wish something else was on. If there had been hockey on, hell, I would have watched the Knicks over watching that Monday night game.
Bing bong.
That was awful. Watching the Broncos offense is, to my eyes, what nails on a chalkboard are to my ears. It is just so frustrating to look at that offense and to think, wow, I thought you guys were going to be good, but you look like ass. Like, I honestly think Adam Gase could run a better offense. That's my hot take.
Boy. See, okay, that is the second time you've mentioned Adam Gase on this episode alone, all right? I'm about to put you in timeout.
What is this, like Beetlejuice?
Yes. If you say it one more time, he's gonna fucking be the coach of the Carolina Panthers next year. Don't fucking do it.
He's gonna appear.
I actually want him. I would want him to do that.
Please, God, no.
Please.
I don't want to see him anymore.
Actually, I want to. You know where I want to see him? On the Patriots. I want him to ruin them.
I mean, yeah. And I want fucking hot, sexy women to fall from the sky. That's shit's not gonna happen.
I mean, if you monitor plane crashes,
damn. What the fuck?
I want him to be alive, Liam.
Well, I didn't say that they didn't have parachutes.
He got you there. He didn't. Anyway, we're just.
You went dark. You
no,
your mind
just
is
move
dirty.
on. Just move on. God damn.
But I mean, I'm nervous about the Denver defense because I saw what they were doing to Eckler, and I was just like, man, like they're really stopping this offense. Like that concerns me. Like Mike LaFleur has his work cut out for him this week for us. But I'm not worried about Russell Wilson and the offense, especially now that he's dealing with 2 injuries. I mean, I think he's got whatever's going on with his shoulder, and now he's got something going wrong with his hamstring. And I don't care. Like, did you hear about his quote today?
Let's ride.
Him healing? No. They're like, oh, Russell, how's the hamstring going? And he goes, oh, it's feeling better day by day. I heal fast. It's like I have green blood in me.
I did hear that.
Oh,
and I'm like, what is this? I was like, what is this tiger blood shit?
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, the man's eaten far too many danger witches. Like, he's got to be careful. It's spicy.
Come on, bro. I got tiger blood winning.
But I don't know. Like, if he re-aggravates that injury, he's gonna feel it. I'm sorry. Hamstrings do not just like magically get better. But But yeah, no, in terms of what I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to say Jets 17, Broncos 10.
Yeah, I looked at that game. I think the over-under was 39.5, and I said, "Oh my God, take the under! It is the easiest bet in the world."
Take the absolute fuck out of the under.
Oh, the thing is though, the Jets can they have shown that you guys can blow off. You can pop off on offense sometimes.
Yes.
Like you can put up some points against the Denver defense, probably not, but they've also been playing stout for so long. Something's got to give. You know what I mean?
They're going to be on a short week.
That too. I mean, only by a day, but yeah.
But then they also did play overtime, so that that might contribute to them being gassed.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe in the fourth quarter they just kind of go.
I don't think Denver is going to score more than 17 points personally, but I do think they might. It might be over on the points, but most of those would come from the Jets then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of not believing what I'm hearing. But, I mean, the fact that the Jets have the opportunity to go into the bye week over 500, entering the easiest part of the schedule, where they get to play the Bears, the Lions, the Jags. Maybe the Seahawks aren't as easy as they once thought, but, that could still be a decent game for them.
Yeah. Liam, if we had sat here in week 7 and I said, Liam, the Jets are 5-2, what would you say? What would you have said?
I would have said playoffs, baby.
You would have said, Brendan, I know you ain't smoking no crack, so what the fuck are you on?
Yeah, it's just like, did you take an edible? Like,
Bitch, you cooking?
Yeah.
Russ isn't.
Oil? Yeah, no.
Russ has SpaghettiOs with grape jelly in it.
Oh, God.
Good God.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I don't like it.
He's in the kitchen cooking up some war crimes.
Oh.
All right, Buzz.
Yeah.
The matchup, the rematch of the century.
Cleanse my palate.
Give us the skinny.
For the past 2 years of off season and of drafts and free agency, the Bills have done everything in their power to build a team that can shut down Kansas City. And my God, did they finally do it with just one signing, I think.
And that man's name
Von
is Michael
Miller.
Scott.
Nope, it's Von Miller. Like, holy fuck. Like, he had
one move, well, two moves.
the spin
to
move.
the left, spin to the right.
Yeah. I mean, the spin move is pretty iconic with him, but
keep getting away with it.
but like in all seriousness, man, we brought him on board to help with the other guys on the line, the younger guys, mentor them. I thought that was good enough, and I thought that was all we were going to get out of Von Miller, given that his age and it's on a new team. But Jesus Christ, like that man he's a closer. Like he was just impactful every time we needed it. He had a sack on third down. He had several pressures.
Hyde for the year, so
yeah,
you needed some defensive people to step up.
That's the thing, is that like our secondary has always been so strong that we were like able to get over the fact that our front seven were like not as good. But now the front seven it flip-flopped. Like now our front seven is just like those guys are getting there. Like QB pressures, QB hits, sacks. Von Miller is tied for second in the league with sacks right now, which I did not expect. How many?
Yeah,
6.
How many is... Oh wow.
He's tied with like 6 other players or something like that. There's only one other player that has more sacks, and they have like 6.5, and I can't remember exactly who it is. But yeah, he's impactful. He made that third down sack that forced a punt. That's huge against a guy like Mahomes. And then on the game-ending interception, he pressured the shit out of him. And it's like so important against Mahomes to take him out of his reads, make him play backyard football. Because now without fucking Hill on his team, our guys are better than their guys. You can't do that kind of shit against the Bills secondary anymore. And you can't do it for as long because the front seven are going to get to you, like if you hold on to that ball too long.
I think what's also important is when you're rushing at Mahomes, you cannot give him an outlet to escape.
Yes.
Because so many times you see you're like, oh man, so this guy's about to get a sack, and Mahomes just goes nah, and he goes the other way. And he'll just go left and he'll go right.
And
you have to force him back.
Right, and the key difference of that is we have a front four now that are good at putting pressure on the quarterback. So if he does break contain, we got either Edmonds or Milano, whoever's assigned on that play, is spying Mahomes. The second he breaks contact, that's his trigger for Milano or Edmonds to just fucking run at him. Like, that's it. So it's like we're getting the pressure that we need so that if he, does get out, we have a guy spying on him to attack him. Before, the only way we can get pressure on Mahomes was if we blitz and then that guy that's spying is no longer there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like he plays. That's why we switched a little bit more to zone on this one. And that's why we gave up a couple like seemingly easy passes to Kelsey and stuff like that. Because they were playing soft zone because it's funny because like I was getting mad during the game, but afterward I reflected on it. I'm like, okay, no, I get it. I understand what they were doing now. They were playing zone coverage. They were mixing in some man coverage. They were just saying, you know what? Our guys are going to get to him at some point, and he's going to make a mistake. And he did. Like, holy crap. Such a good game. 24-20. The spread was 2.5 for Buffalo, which I think was pretty damn accurate.
No.
24-20, just as Romo Damas predicted.
Yeah. That was insane.
He can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, the NFL's rigged, obviously.
Let him keep getting away with it.
Nah. It was definitely a good game to watch. It wasn't as good as like the playoff game. Like that game was just nuts. The playoff game.
Oh yeah, that was an all-time great playoff game. I mean, unfortunately for you, because you lost.
We lost, but we're already in another season, so like I can look back at it. Yeah, we lost, but holy God, like we are all lucky to have watched that game.
Like we might have Brady Manning for the next 10 years.
I think so.
Staring in our face, and they've already produced 2 or 3 classic games.
To be honest, I don't think it's going to be Brady Manning though, because Brady Manning was mostly Brady, right?
Well, so far it's been mostly Mahomes.
Yeah, 2 years.
You're just hoping to break that.
Yeah. You're hoping to have like what was the year Manning won the Super Bowl?
15?
No, the one before that.
06.
Yes. You're hoping to have a Manning 06 type moment. Where like he finally manages to break through.
I just think I look back at those games and it's just like the 13 seconds was either a coaching or a play calling blunder. It wasn't the team. It wasn't the guys. That team last year could have won the Super Bowl easy. They could have won that game easy. It was just some sort of thing broke down. Some sort of decision was made that fucked us over. And nobody's really taking ownership or blaming anybody, which is kind of good for the organization. They don't want to throw people under the bus when that kind of shit happens. The only thing you got to do is hope that they don't do it again.
Yeah.
And only time will tell for that. But beating Kansas City during the regular season, we did it last year, and we still lost in the playoffs when it matters. But it's key because beating them is good for tiebreakers, so that if we are tied for first in for the bye, that's huge. We've already beat the Titans. We've already beat Kansas City. Well, we're gonna have to beat, I think. I mean, I was worried a little bit about Miami, but we're gonna have to beat like maybe Patriots again, and maybe the Jets if you guys continue to have success. Like, because that bye week is super important, and home field advantage is going to be super important. Because the way I look at it, if Mahomes has to come to Buffalo during the playoffs, that man ain't ready for that kind of environment. Yeah. I don't think he can play that kind of environment. Like, Mahomes has had a lot of success in the playoffs, yes, but how many road games has he won in the playoffs?
No, I don't think he's had to play any road games in the playoffs.
Not in hostile territory. I mean, like, the Super Bowl is neutral.
It's neutral. That don't count.
Right. So I don't think he's prepared to play on the road in the playoffs. I just don't think so. In the cold, in Buffalo, He played one regular season game up here recently, or the most recent game he played was in 2020 when there was no crowd.
Yeah, that don't count.
It don't count. So it's like he's going to go 3 years maybe without playing, or even 4 years. I'll have to double check what they did in 2019. But yeah, he's going to have to come up to Buffalo. Hopefully, he's just not going to be prepared for that. That's I'm gonna bet on that. I just think that, you know, his performance is going to be tested a lot if he has to play on the road. Anyway, amazing game, and I don't have to worry about previewing next week at all because Bills are on a bye.
Enjoy your bye.
Yeah, and you know what? I will add to that. We're healthy at the bye, which is like a first time in a long time.
Yes, he's like, enjoy the bye. Thanks, I will.
Yeah, they all will. Like, instead of us like worrying, like, oh shit, is this guy gonna come back?
That's another thing I think for the Jets. I mean, I don't want to jinx it.
Oh shit.
But in previous years, we'd always there would always be a multitude of injuries, and we would be like, you know, oh well, we're out like a straight up starter. Now, I mean, the biggest injury that we probably had was losing Mekhi Becton. I mean, I think we're out Jermaine Johnson for this week, but he'll be back next week. Like, so far, we have avoided, and I mean, Zach Wilson was injured in the beginning, but so far we have avoided worst case scenarios on most of our injuries. Even the ones where it's like, we looked at it and we're like, oh man, like the cart had to come out for him. That's not good. And I think we did that with Max Mitchell, who was our rookie right tackle. And, you know, next day it's just like, yeah, you know, we avoided the worst case with Max. Like, he'll be out for like 4 to 6 weeks, but you know, he'll be back. Yeah. And I feel like in this league, sometimes being healthy is better than anything else.
I agree. I mean, because it gives you a little bit of a competitive edge, because if you're completely healthy, there is a very good chance that the team you're playing against that week is not.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's a pretty good thing to. That's why the Bills have always been actually pretty incredible ever since they got their new training facility and since McDermott took over. Is that these guys, like, they just don't really get hurt. If they do, they're out maybe at maximum 4 weeks. So speaking of major injuries, I mean, obviously Micah Hyde is gone, but Tre'Davious White,
he's back.
We don't know. He's activated off of IR because he started practicing again last week, and I think he has to start on the Halloween game, well, Sunday night game against Green Bay. I think he has to play that game, otherwise he's done for the season, with the way how like IR works.
He would have to dress, or he would have to actually play it down?
Probably both. I really don't know how the IR works, but he would definitely minimum have to dress. Like, if we don't activate him for that game,
like you can play it down and not dress. Like,
well, yeah, it's either dress and play it down, or just dress is what I mean. Like, if he's inactive, we can't do that. And I think if he's inactive, he's out for the season. Like, he goes on like season-ending IR. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, I don't think they would have pulled him out this past week to practice unless they were pretty confident that, you know, during the bye week and all that shit that he'd be ready to go come Sunday, next week Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's just something to look for. I mean, there's a chance that maybe the Bills don't feel like he's fully activated, so they're giving him a chance to, like, you know,
take the bye week, get some practice.
Yeah, get some practice. Let the coaches see how he is, like, check his speed, make sure he's not getting any soreness or anything, like, you know, when he's got an actual workload that his knee hurts or something like that. You know, but there is a chance that they decide that, hey, you're not 100%. This isn't anything against you. We're kind of defending, you know, your safety. And then they put him on IR and he's out for the season too. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're pretty much trending towards, you know, him starting. So we'll see. What's good is that our secondaries that replaced him, like Benford and Elam, they've been pretty solid. I mean, Elam had a pick in this past game against Kansas City too. And I think he's got 2 picks this season. So, I mean, like, we don't have to rush White back in. and we can also have him split workload if we need to. But yeah, local game's done. So exciting that we all won.
Yep.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about the Jets now. It would suck. It would suck. It would suck losing.
I would curb it until we actually I feel like with a lot of these games, it's like there's always an excuse that can be built in, like, oh, Rodgers has a hurt hand and he's not playing well. Game before that, you were playing a third stringer. Game before that is, oh, you were playing Kenny Pickett and, Mitch Trubisky. Speaking of which, like, what the hell did Trubisky say to get himself benched?
Oh yeah.
Like, that story is really weird. Where it's just like, oh, Trubisky wasn't benched because he was playing bad. He was benched because he said something in the locker room.
It was like conduct unbecoming of a leader.
What I read briefly, we won't go too far into it, but what I read briefly about it was that Deontay Johnson was like bitching that he wasn't getting targets, and in that game, like, Deontay had like a drop and like he just wasn't playing all that well. So Trubisky was like, he stood up to him. I don't know exactly what was said, but the article said that he stood up to Deontay Johnson, which caused a conflict, which led to his benching. Which is kind of shitty, because it's like, if you're the quarterback and you're getting somebody like, oh, throw me the ball more, it's like, well, then fucking catch it, you asshole. And then, like, suddenly you're the asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know exactly what happened, but that's what was said, is that Deontay Johnson was getting in his face about throwing him the ball more. And I think Trubisky probably mentioned that he like didn't play that well, or
I did throw you the ball twice. You dropped it.
And you dropped it. So who knows? That kind of sucks, because that means the coaching staff is like, leaning more towards the veterans.
And they always lean toward their diva wide receivers. I don't get it.
Especially the Steelers, dude.
Steelers are just cranking them out.
Yeah, he's the new Juju.
Yeah. But Juju was the new goddamn
baby.
Yeah, AB, exactly. So who's after Deontay?
Claypool's not exactly doing himself any favors either.
Yeah, Claypool kind of got stepped
Claypool's
over.
A big time clout chaser.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You want to lean in? You want to go into picks?
Yeah, let's go into picks. Let me get the music. Hold on.
Let's do it.
All right, let me get the pick music going. Okay.
All right. So to recap, it wasn't exactly the moving week I thought it might have been, but Liam did widen his gap narrowly in first place. Yep, I think you had a 4-point week.
Very nice, very nice.
Actually, you had a 3-point week because your 3-pointer was the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Which was the same as me, so we both lost that one. But you had a 3-point week. Puz had the 4-point week, which put him tied for second with me, who had the 2-point week. So we are now at Liam with 24, Puz and Brendan tied with 21. So
we're gonna get
Liam being in first place again. You lead us off.
All right. This week, I think that it's a bit more clear than last week. It's still not great because the NFL is now a league of mid. A lot of these games really feel like toss-ups.
The mid FL.
We are the national mid league.
It really does feel like we are. That being said, for my 1-point play, I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think I've picked them at all.
You have once.
I have once. You're right. Yeah, I did. I'm gonna pick them again. Baltimore's going up against Cleveland. I think Cleveland still has to pay for their sins. I think that in a battle between, the Ravens, who can't seem to hold on to the lead, and the Browns, who just, are being smitten by the fucking NFL gods. You
mean smited?
Yeah, smited. Yeah, whatever.
They're falling in love with the NFL gods.
No, they are being punished. I think the Ravens are going to come out on top. I think the Browns have some serious defensive woes. Their offense also isn't very good. They have no real solution at quarterback until Watson gets back. But until that happens, they're shit out of luck. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens as my 1-point play. For my 2-point play, I am gonna go with the G-Men.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's ridiculous that the Jaguars are still favored in this game. They're not great at all. Like, they're better than they were last year, but last year they were led by Urban Meyer. This year they are just, it's Doug Peterson. He's okay, but he's not great. And honestly, Trevor Lawrence, I don't think has still really had his coming out game in the NFL. He hasn't had the game that really like stands out where you go, oh, he's going to be really good.
I think the Chargers game was that game for him. Let me look up how he did. But they won that game 38-10 against a potential playoff team. So
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I believe wasn't Herbert hurt that game?
I mean, he's been hurt
yeah. So
ever since. Okay, Lawrence went 28 of 39 for 262 and 3 touchdowns. Didn't get stacked. James Robinson ran for 100 yards.
Hey.
And I still feel like he's regressed since that game.
Hey. Just let the man make his pick.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still not convinced that the Jaguars are any good. And meanwhile, the Giants, they may be the worst 5-1 team, but they are a 5-1 team.
But you have heard of me.
And this game, I just think I think it's going to be the Giants. I think that I don't know how close it's going to be. I wouldn't predict a score on it, but I'm taking the Giants on this one. And for my 3-point play, I don't want to do this.
I think I know.
I want to do this.
I think I know.
It's going to make me throw up in my mouth, but I'm going for the points.
I understand. Go ahead and do it. We'll give you a pass. We'll give you the AFC's pass here.
Is this like a hall pass?
Yeah.
I've already penciled it in. I know who you're gonna pick.
I know.
I've already written it down.
It's a valid pick too. I get it.
I gotta see it. Okay. I'm picking the Patriots over the Bears. Okay.
All right. You can just say
it
who
off
loses.
like a Band-Aid.
Okay. I will not elaborate further. I am now leaving.
Well, to be fair, you could have just said, I picked the Chicago Bears to lose because they suck. That's it.
Shit, I could have done that. Damn it. I could have made this a lot less painful. Yeah. All right. Which one of you guys are tied, so which one of you wants to go?
I want to go second because I feel like I've always. I'm gonna keep with the tradition. I'm gonna keep going last. Brandon, you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it my thing on this show to always go last.
Well, not if you're in
second place.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I'm always gonna go last.
Well, I'm very interested in this. It sucks that Liam picked the Patriots because I was going to preface this by saying I'm going to pick 3 teams that none of us have picked so far.
And I just kind of ruined that. Okay.
You ruined it a little bit, but it's okay because I still haven't picked this team yet. And I'm going to. But for my 1-pointer, I'm not afraid. Give me the Jets.
All right.
Give me the Jets. I actually feel more confident about this game than I do the Giants game.
Really?
Actually. Even though we said all the same shit of I think this is going to be a game that's won in the trenches. It's a low-scoring game. I think the Jets do it better than the Broncos do. this is going to be a defensive game. You know, both defenses are going to get worked to the bone here. I think what is going to prevail is which offense can generate more, constant drives, scores, like that.
Right.
I think it's the Jet.
Okay.
I would pick you guys to outscore. I think your defenses are really comparable. And I think that your offense will be in. I think Breece Hall is enough. I think Zach Wilson will make the throws he needs to make. And I don't think the Broncos are going to be able to keep up. And home run Astros.
Yeah.
Can we go one goddamn TBS without always?
Dude.
Well, you guys are in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, maybe that time will come soon.
Yeah, because we're definitely going to lose this series. So another week and no more baseball.
Yeah.
All right, so my 1-pointer is the Jets. My 2-pointer, and I will go into it a little more than Liam neglected to. My 2-point play is the Patriots. However, I wanted to ask if there could be a caveat to this pick.
Okay.
No bonus points, though. You already got bonus points.
No bonus points. I want to pick the Patriots if Bailey Zappi is going to start.
Oh.
If Mac Jones is going to start, I don't want to pick them.
Really?
And I would pick a different team.
Okay, so if that's the case, then either you stick with this pick, and if Zappy starts, you pick New England, and if Mac Jones starts,
if Zappy picks, I pick.
You have an
if
alternate.
Zappy starts,
no,
I pick New
no,
England.
No.
I don't want to give you an alternate pick, but I will allow you that if Mac Jones starts, that pick switches to Chicago.
Oh God, no. Ew.
Well, what are you talking about? What do you mean? If you're that adamant that Chicago's not going to win, then what's the problem?
Exactly. Not the whole point. I will elaborate at least this on my point. I don't think the Bears are good.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, then who cares who's going to be the quarterback?
Exactly.
Huh?
Because Mac Jones is going to start. If he starts, he's going to be playing hurt, and that just really hurts the Patriots' chances of winning the game.
But the Chicago Bears suck, right?
I mean, both of these things can be true. Whatever. I'll stick with the Patriots.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
And hopefully Zappy starts because, mark my words, here's my hot take. If Zappy continues to play like this, he's going to be the starter for the rest of the year.
I actually kind of agree.
I agree. However, I've seen Mike White, and
now
we'll let it go a little bit longer before I start making any crazy accusations.
Now
but
Zappy's put this up for 3 straight games.
Exactly.
Against
Mike
good
White
teams.
had one game. He had one game and the beginning of the Colt game before he got injured. Zappy has done this 3 weeks in a row. That's not a fluke.
3 weeks in a row? Well, I mean, he lost one of those games, right?
No.
There's no way. There's no way New England started 0-3.
Yeah, no. They lost the Packer game.
Yeah, they lost. They just lost the Packer game.
Just lost it,
and it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
I'll let it go for a little bit, but I mean, I agree. Zappy does look a lot more complete than Mac Jones does. That's the best way I can put it. Unfortunate thing is, though, draft pick.
And another home run.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm turning that off now. We lost.
Spoken like a true Yankees fan.
Spoken like a true me, dude. I turned Giants games off in the second quarter.
You didn't live with him for 4 years. This is exactly what this is totally in line with him.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing. I don't know anything about baseball to know, but
Zappy I think will carry the Patriots to victory. 2 points on Monday night.
Got it.
3 points.
My 3-pointer. This hurts me as much as it hurt Liam to say for his.
Oh no.
I'm picking the Cowboys.
Them boys.
Oh
It's time. It might be time to get off of the Lion hype train. Now, I saw something today that Amon-Ra St. Brown is like super juiced up for the adjustments that they made during their bye week in week 6.
That just sounds like a euphemism for he's about to be suspended 6 games for PEDs.
Oh, okay. I use the word juiced up.
You use the word juiced up.
I use the word juiced up. He's hyped up. All right? That was the actual quote.
Yes.
All right? He said he's hyped up. It's still the Cowboys. They're still just a better team. Their defense is playing pretty fucking solid all year. Whether it's Cooper Rush or Prescott that starts this game. You have to think the Cowboys, they're at home, you have to think they're going to win. Detroit can score, but this is the best defense that they've gone up against, I think, this year. If their O-line play is shoddy at all, Micah Parsons is gonna fucking run through them. It could be a slaughter, another 29-0 banger. Maybe not that bad, but I would think the Cowboys are gonna drop 30 on the Lions. And I feel good enough about it to make it in a week where there's a lot of mid matchups. I feel good enough about this one to make it my 3. So, the Jets for 1, the Patriots for 2, the Cowboys for 3. You're up, Buzz.
Yep. Oh boy, man. There's a little, yeah, man. There's a lot of mid picks. Mid teams.
This is why Puzz wants to go last, because he didn't actually look at it.
No, it's not that I don't look at them. It's just like I have 4 or 5 that I would pick, and it's more like trying to figure out which one would be the 1, which one would be the 3. You know, like I'm always a lot more secure with the 3s and then the 1s. I think my 1 pick is gonna be Tampa Bay over Carolina. I don't know. Do I have a Tampa Bay pick available?
You do. You have all 3.
I haven't picked Tampa yet?
Nope.
All right, well, fuck it. Tampa's kind of looking a little ragged, just like Green Bay is, but they're playing the Carolina Panthers. They're having a fire sale. They have a half a coach. If Tampa Bay doesn't manage to beat this ragtag team, I'm a little concerned. And it's also a division game, so those guys are going to be playing a little harder. So I'm taking Tampa Bay for my 1-point game. My 2-point game. You ready for it?
Oh.
Ooh.
Washington over Green Bay.
Ooh. Oh my God, that is a fire take.
Puzz wants to stay in 3rd place.
I want chaos, actually. No. Heineke's coming in. Believe it or not, Heineke's actually had good games when he's come off the bench after a preparation for a week.
Yeah, no, I like Heineke.
I do too. I don't know why they decided to go crazy and get like Wentz. Like, I feel like they could give a guy like Heineke enough of a chance and invest in the things around him, you know, and then they would be a little bit better. They're playing at home. Green Bay has lost 2 in a row to teams that they should have beat. And I personally think that this team is fucked. Like, they are fucked in the head. They're seeing ghosts. I think right now, Green Bay, like, the red alert lights are going off. But when they lose against Washington this week, full-blown panic mode. And then my 3-point, do I have a Kansas City pick?
Do you have a Kansas City pick? You do.
Okay, great. I'm going to pocket that because I don't want to pick Kansas City. You know what? Fuck it. We'll take 3 points. Kansas City over San Fran. KC, they don't lose 2 in a row. And they barely lost to the Bills. I don't see them having trouble against a banged-up San Francisco team. Not one bit. Not one bit. So that's what I'm picking. And honorable mention for Tank Bowl of the Week, it's got to be Houston versus Vegas.
That would have been the pivot game, if it had been granted. If Zappy didn't start the Monday night game, I would have taken. Well, actually, that would have been really difficult to know because it's the Monday night game. So the other game would have already happened. I would have picked the Raiders over the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that too. That of those two teams, the Raiders are the ones that are technically better on paper, and they're also playing at home. I don't understand why Vegas is 1-4. To be honest, they don't seem like a 1-4 team.
They should have beaten Kansas City.
Yeah, they squeaked a win out last year against them, didn't they? That was early in the year where Gruden's like, I beat Kansas City, and then he got fired. I think that was last season. Anyway, I can't remember.
So,
did I surprise you with my pick?
This
definitely
the Commanders definitely with the Washington one.
Oh
yeah,
boy,
that is a ooh.
I just think Heineke is gonna get the start, and he's gonna be at home, and I think that the crowd's gonna be amped.
That is some good shit.
And I think Rodgers lost something when he smoked that stuff. Or ate it. I don't even know how that got into his system. I don't know the delivery system for ayahuasca, but I think something's fucked up over there.
So this could be a very important moving week. This could be a huge week. You know why? We have picked 8 different games.
Hell yes. I mean, that's the thing. When I go last, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to pick the same ones that they pick because I want a little bit of excitement. And I'll be honest, being tied second when I try to pick weird games a lot I feel like that's not a horrible position to be in.
I find it wild that Liam and I picked each other's team.
We did. We did.
Because I feel more confident about the Jets game than the Giants game, and he probably feels the same way.
Yeah, I do. Okay. I think for both of us, we're just not used to either of our teams really winning. At least not over the past 10 years. I mean, you have 2 Super Bowls that you can actually remember. Yeah, I don't have one in my fucking lifetime. But
you've got one on VHS.
The VHS wasn't even invented.
But they went back and recorded it. They had to have.
Yeah, it was on the fucking NFL greatest games thing, with the fucking old timey music. I have to see, I've seen 3 straight wins from the Jets, I should say. Because it's 4 wins total. We've matched our total of wins from last year. We're only at week 6. That's really good.
Yeah, we've already passed our wins from last year.
I'm speaking as a Jet fan. I thought if we hit 3 wins, I thought if we got 3 wins by the bye week, we are sitting pretty, because I did not really expect us to make the playoffs this year. Now you're telling me we have the potential for 5 wins, meaning we'll be at the bye week over 500. That, to me, it's and then you're entering an easier part of the schedule where we could finish potentially 9-8, maybe, God willing, 10-6. And that's playoffs. That's immediately, we're talking, we could control our own destiny against the freaking Dolphins in the last week of the year. That's huge. And I'm just, to go from the 2-14 year with who I will not name, unless I get put in timeout.
For fear of being excommunicated.
Yes.
It seems like we're losing Liam. This is really unprecedented.
Trying to find a piece of paper to to do the noise. But to go from 2-14 to 4-15, and then the next thing you know, it's playoffs.
It's kind of huh?
That's even that shit. Where if you told me that in the beginning of the year, I would have went, typical Jets homer. He's gonna He's not going to be...
You're the kind of people I downvote on the subreddit.
No, I downvote people who talk shit about Zach Wilson, even though like they don't need to.
You downvote the people that are like, bring back Sam Darnold.
Oh, well, thankfully those people are no more. But they were real last year, and I got sick of that. But it's like, you know, we haven't seen the playoffs since Rex Ryan. You know, just the potential. It's almost too much. And to go into the bye week potentially 5-4, or even if we beat the Patriots at home, and because I don't think we're gonna beat the Bills, but maybe we do. But either way, to go to the bye week at 5-4 or even 6-3, and you know, like that automatically makes it like the best Jet year since 2015. And you know, you still have a whole second half of the season to go, where you get to play the Jaguars and the Lions and the Bears, and you know, it's like, okay, you're talking 9-10 wins. That's huge, and I would absolutely love that, because it's not like 2015 where it's a year of, oh, okay, yeah, we brought back a bunch of these old people like Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie and Brandon Marshall and Ryan Fitzpatrick as a journeyman quarterback, like, you know, and then they're all gone within 2 years. This is being built off of Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore, Quinnen Williams, guys who are under 25, where they're still going to be on this team, hopefully 5 years from now. And we'll keep adding to that talent. And that would be huge. Okay, so got that off my chest.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel. I guess I'm in the same boat where I just don't, you know, I'm not used to us being this good, and we should beat the Jaguars, but there's like something, there's like something telling me that like, nah, Trevor Lawrence is gonna have a fucking massive game or something like that, and I feel better about the Jets matchup, because like either way, your defense is going to be feasting, because you're either playing against Russell Wilson, who's hurt in more than ways than one, who can't throw the ball worth a shit, or you're playing against Brett Ripien. And how much you want to bet he hasn't taken any first team snaps, like at all? So, you know, I was at first, when I was like looking over these picks, I was like, okay, well, who's Denver's backup if Russell Wilson's too hard to play? Oh, it's Brett Ripien. Oh, they got this in the bag. And like I said, I think it's going to be a very low scoring game, but I think all it's going to take is like one touchdown to like break through. And I would put it more in the hands of Breece Hall than anybody on the Broncos to get that touchdown. So I think you guys are going to go up early. I think you're going to keep it. I think Denver's going to try to mount a comeback, and they're going to come up short. I think you guys might not go wire to wire. Like, you might not score until like the second quarter, but I think once you've established like a 7 to 10 point lead, I think the game's just over.
Yeah, as soon as you force Denver into needing to pass the ball and rely more on Ripien, like, yeah. But the thing is, even if it's a tie game and they don't need to rely on Ripien, who the fuck they got? Who's their running backs?
Latavius Murray.
No, they just said Melvin Gordon's cleared to play.
Yeah, what the hell happened with that?
But doesn't matter, because I think the Jets' run defense is going to be good enough to stop him.
I think so too. Like, I don't even think Denver's going to score. Like, they definitely aren't going to score over 17, but maybe 13.
Also, I saw this crazy stat that I wanted to lead my pick with, and I totally forgot about it. Who's the best fourth quarter team this year by point differential?
The Jets.
The Jets. It's not even close.
Wow.
Between
the Jets are plus 48 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Wow.
It's
The
'cause we
Giants are
have
5th.
14 of those came against the
the
Browns.
Browns.
Actually, 21 of those came against the Browns because you scored earlier in that quarter, didn't you?
Maybe. I know.
Yeah,
we
but
definitely-
was it 21 net points?
I don't know what that means.
No, I don't think so because remember Chubb got that touchdown like immediately. Like he got that touchdown that set up like
Yeah.
the comeback.
Well, I mean, like to me though, that stat's kind of like a little misleading, right? Because like a team like the Buffalo Bills, as an example, and I'm sorry to bring them up, but I just know the most about them. They're usually up by a decent amount in the last quarter. That they just aren't in a scoring mode. They're in, victory formations. They're in run the ball,
Resting
run
starters.
the clock, resting start. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a testament to the Jets that when the game is on the line and they still need to score points, they fucking will. You know what I mean?
Question though, have you actually rested your starters outside of the Pittsburgh game?
I want to say yes.
The Tennessee game?
The Tennessee game, yes, definitely, because it was like what 30-something to 7.
7.
Yeah.
That one we were resting pretty much after halftime. I think like starters got one snap after the half, and then they sat. Except for Allen, obviously Allen was still out there, but we started giving like more touches to like Kumaro. We started giving more touches to like our third string tight end and like Tommy Sweeney and all that. So yeah. And then what was who did we play first? Yeah, we didn't rest anybody against the Rams.
The Dolphins?
Dolphins, we definitely didn't. I mean, we were down to fucking skeleton crew in that game by the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So many injuries, so many cramps, so many people just dehydrating.
So really just the Titan and the Steeler game.
Yeah, I mean, but even then, like you could be up, 20-10, and in the fourth quarter, let's say. And like you're just running the ball, like you're doing the cheap dine and dunk, outside passes, getting 3 yards, like you're running the clock. You know what I mean? Like you're not making big plays. You're not trying to move the field a lot. You're just trying to move the clock. So,
but you guys are, at that point you're in a non-competitive game, really. And
right. It's all about game management, time management.
It's not your fault if you have a terrible like fourth quarter differential because you're up by 30. So like, who cares?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's like kind of a misleading stat, but at the same time, it's pretty cool in the sense that. But at
the same time, for the teams
the Jets
that are
are
up there,
down, they have shown that they are not out of a game, which is what the Bills of the past did. Is that when we were down like 10 points in the fourth, that it was already game over because like we just knew. We didn't have it in us to score. Like it's basically what Denver is now, is what the Bills were in the past. Is that like when Denver's down by 10, you're like they're done, they're cooked. They can't even score. In fact, I think during the Monday Night Football game, I was bowling and I had to watch it. I like looked up and I didn't have audio, but I looked up and then there like the Denver. It had some stats about Denver, and it just had like this big 3D graphic that said cold zone instead of red zone. And it had all their stats about like how they couldn't get into the red zone at all.
It's the spook zone.
That's good. But yeah, if Denver's down by like even 10, you're just like, well, time to pack it up, boys. It's over. And don't they have like 3 more primetime games or some shit?
It's something stupid like that.
They have like 2 or 3 more.
God, why didn't they give the Bills more? I mean, they did, but not 5.
Crazy thing. Like, because first off, they'll give the NFC East like an extreme amount. And while I think maybe the Giants and the Eagles deserve it, the Cowboys, they can get a break. Like we could stop.
Yeah,
we had our Monday night game, which was our only loss.
And you could definitely stop giving the fucking Commanders anything. Like, because I understand the Jets haven't really done anything to deserve a Sunday night football game, which I don't think we've had since.
No, but you're a big market.
Game. It's been over 10 years, I think, since we've had a Sunday night football game.
We don't get one this year. I'm looking at our schedule right now. We don't
get one this week. We don't even play a game, I think, Pat. Well, I mean, we get the Thursday night game, which that starts at 8:15. That's against the Jags, too, so that's going to be on a short week. That's going to be...
Yeah. Guess what our Thursday night game is? Thanksgiving.
That doesn't count.
And both of our primetime games, our Monday night game and our Thursday night game, are against the Cowboys.
Yeah, we play Thanksgiving against the Lions.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's a weird tradition that I feel like should probably stop to at this
The
point.
Lions
Like
and
the Lions playing on Thanksgiving.
well, Dallas does it too, don't they?
Yes, both of them do.
Yeah, it's always got to be like
But the Lions have been doing it since like the 30s.
Yeah.
So that's why they're not going to stop it. But
And the
yeah, we
Cowboys-
are. Which game are we? We are the middle game on Thanksgiving. We're the 4:30 game.
Yeah, we're the 12:30
really?
game.
Well, I guess that's the one that everybody. It's like after everybody's eaten.
No, we're the one while everybody's eating.
A lot of people tend to eat around like 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock's about the time that my family would eat on Thanksgiving.
I think that's become a thing because a lot of people like start shopping now. But I thank God that like COVID killed that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Thanksgiving shopping and like doorbuster deals. Like, oh, it's Black Friday, but now there's.
Oh, can we talk about how there's now
yeah.
a Black Friday game?
Not yet, but next year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, next year. But yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting move because you're kind of like it's Amazon trying to draw people to stay home and then, miss Black Friday and then go, fuck it, I'll just shop on Amazon on Cyber Monday.
But the thing is, we're already getting fucked over by like corporations that Black Friday doesn't even mean shit anymore. There's maybe like one or two good deals and that's it.
Well, it's also like everybody has, it's our Black Friday deal starting Monday. And it's just like, wait a minute. So what's the point? Like, what's Black Friday?
No, you want to know what it is? It's Amazon wanting to co-opt Black Friday and make it Prime Day. Like they want to jack the name. Like how the national name right now is Black Friday. Mm-hmm. They want it to become Prime Day.
Well, I think
they already have Prime Day.
Yeah,
they have Prime Day.
They want to take it over.
I think they do. No, I'm with Buzz. I do think that they do. However, I don't know if it's going to be Black Friday or if they're going to do that for Cyber Monday. Because, that's always the big day, like the Monday after all of that. It's just online shopping up the wazoo. Like, I think that they're going to try to make Cyber Monday Prime Monday. Like, that's what they're going to try to call it. And it's just like, if you have Amazon Prime, get all these great deals. Get this flat screen TV that's, that we have like a ton of because people stop buying TVs because honestly, most things are only in 4K now. And you probably already own a 4K TV like everybody fucking else.
Well, can I add this really quick? Because I know you guys were just saying something about this. If Bezos owns the Commanders, we're going to see the Commanders playing every Black Friday game.
They would definitely try to like shoehorn them in at least for the first one.
No, it would become a new tradition because Amazon owns that day and owns the rights to play that day. And if he owns the Commanders, for a fact he's going to somehow strong arm the league into letting him do it. You're like, Dallas and Lions play on Thanksgiving. I want the Commanders, the Amazon Commanders, to play every Black Friday on our network.
The Washington Prime, the
Washington Prime membership.
Oh my god, no! Yeah. The Washington Primes would actually be a fucking dope name. Are you kidding me?
That sounds like some Olympus Has Fallen jargon.
No, it sounds like if George Washington was a fucking Decepticon.
We got Washington Prime here. We got a code Prime at the White House.
Yeah.
Washington Prime.
Olympus Has Fallen. I repeat, White House down. Like, wait a minute.
Instead of them being the Primes, they're just the Washington Prime. So it's like, they are a conglomerate. I don't know. But yeah, like you guys are just pitching about having to see the Commanders on primetime. Get ready, because I think the Commanders are going to be every Black Friday now. If Bezos buys it.
So the late game on Thanksgiving is Patriots Vikings. That could be. That could actually be an interesting game, but I would take the Vikings in that game.
I have to see a little bit more of just like Brendan was saying. If it's Zappy, it might be competitive. If it's Mac Jones, maybe not. I don't really know. But we haven't really mentioned a lot about the Vikings on this show today. We've mentioned them a couple times. They're sneaky good, man. Like they're a team we don't talk about enough because they're an NFC team. but they're good. They actually might go further this time before, and all they had to do was get rid of what's his face, Zimmer.
Yep. Yeah, they get rid of Mike Zimmer, and it's like the chains have come off.
Yeah.
They are on a bye this week.
Yeah.
So it won't be, for another week that they could be evaluated. But next week they play Arizona. That is entirely winnable at home. They should win that game.
They actually play the Bills just before Thanksgiving, I think. Oh. Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
Oh, God, the Bills play Sunday the 20th, and then we play fucking Thanksgiving the 24th. That is a short-ass week.
Yep, so do the Vikings. They play the Cowboys the 20th, the Patriots the 24th.
Yeah, that makes me nervous.
And then they play the Jets after that on like 10 days rest.
See, that kind of shit makes me nervous because I think that happened last year, and that's when Tre'Davious White fucking blew his ACL, was during the Thanksgiving game. That sucks. Hopefully nothing bad happens. But, yeah, we play the Vikings. Let's see, what week would that be?
It's like week 10.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, week 10. I was really hoping that Watson would come back earlier, but he's still suspended because the Browns play at Bills. Oh my God. If he was playing in that game, our stadium would be bonkers yelling at this guy. They probably would have to mute the audio.
Oh, God.
I don't know where he's playing when he comes back. Is it in Houston or is he playing at Cleveland?
Oh, that's a good.
I think it might be in Houston.
That's a horrible idea. That is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Somebody
in
call
Houston.
the police. Tell them somebody's gonna get shot.
They're in Houston. Oh, that's
week
gonna
13.
be.
Yes, they are in Houston.
I'm gonna circle that on my calendar. I need to watch this game because
that is a 1:00 game.
Also, low key, I know this is far in the future, but I'm calling it now. I'm picking Houston as my 3-pointer on that week.
Oh, that's ballsy, but I like it.
I can pencil that in.
Oh my God, man!
That is funny.
I gotta watch that game because the camera guys are they're gonna have such a hard time keeping that. They have to keep the camera like tight on the grass. Like they're not gonna be able to show anybody in the stands.
No.
There's gonna be so many horrible signs, and it's gonna be so difficult.
If you thought Bills fans throwing a dildo onto the field when Tom Brady was there was bad,
that's all in honest fun.
Yeah.
Nah, just like the fucking Cleveland fans in '99 when they were selling the team and they pelted the refs with bottles and shit.
Yeah. Oh man. And then the owner had to come out and like stop. Or the coach, I think. I can't remember. Like somebody on the Browns had to like get on the microphone and like yell at everybody, just calm the fuck down.
Yeah, so they decided to rip up the stadium instead.
As you do. As you do. Well, it's going to be an interesting week. It sucks for me that I don't have a game to watch, but I will probably pay attention to your guys' games a bit more.
Yeah, as well as your picks.
Yeah.
That means you have to watch the Commanders.
I'll keep an eye on it in Red Zone, but I just think, so here's a quick question for you guys. Which team is more in panic mode right now, Green Bay or Tampa Bay?
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Tampa got their Super Bowl win out of Brady. I really don't think they care. Like, Green Bay is honestly, they're trying to desperately keep the window open for Rodgers.
Yeah.
That window is shut, dude.
Green Bay lost one. Green Bay, it's like worst case scenario for Kansas City. They lost one player and everything fell apart. They lost their best skill position player and it was the linchpin of their offense.
Yeah.
And it's become uncoupled. It's happened to a lesser extent now that Tyreek is gone in Kansas City. But Devontae Adams leaving Green Bay killed the Packers. It actually did, because they're trying to play like he's still there.
All right, next rapid fire question: who won the Seattle trade for Wilson?
Well, I mean,
Seattle.
right now, Seattle.
But how? How do they win that trade? By simply just not having Wilson play for them?
By not having Russell Wilson play for them.
But they also got, what picks did they get out of this?
I don't know what picks, but I know they got Locke, who they were like, yeah, we're excited to have him, and then benched him immediately. And then they got the tight end too. I can't remember.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
The trade was
Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 firsts,
round picks,
2 seconds, and a fifth, and
Okay.
a fourth, and a fourth.
For Wilson.
For Wilson and a fourth.
Okay, Seattle definitely won. Holy fuck.
Seattle
Holy
absolutely won
shit.
that trade.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, I did not.
That's why I was so confident, because I remember at the very least 2 firsts were involved. I forgot about the 2 seconds.
Jesus fucking Christ. What
Them
What
getting
is-
their first back for the Adams trade.
So Denver just looked at their team and they're like, oh, should we like leverage our future or go all in for a Super Bowl? And they were like, all in for a Super Bowl. And we're like, but sir, we don't have anything. The best player we have is Noah Fant. Ship him off with the trade.
As of right now, that Seattle pick that they got from Denver is 7th overall.
Yeah.
And that stock, I have a feeling, is going to keep going up.
Yes, because it's actually so interesting. I guess since we are starting to get into a season where we have to start looking at draft picks. Carolina is first. Las Vegas is second. They are tied with Detroit, but Detroit, I guess Vegas has the tiebreaker. So Detroit is third. Houston is fourth at 1-3-1. And then we get into some really interesting points. The New Orleans pick is currently owned by Philly.
Yeah. I saw that. They would have a really high pick right
The
now.
5th overall pick is owned by Philly. The 6th overall pick, which would originally be Cleveland's, is owned by Houston thanks to the Watson trade. And then you have the Denver pick, which is owned by Seattle.
Jesus Christ.
So really interesting how like the top 10, the bottom half of the top 10 is kind of in flux, because there are 2 teams there that don't necessarily deserve to be there, but they're probably gonna be there.
All right, my last rapid fire question I have for you. Indianapolis Colts playing at Tennessee. Which team needs this win more?
Colts.
Why?
Because they're all in again with Matt Ryan. Whereas
Exactly.
not to say this doesn't mean that the Titans don't need this game, right? Because they definitely do. But the Colts have a harder road to the playoffs,
Especially
and
with
that's the
tie in
ultimate.
hand.
That's the ultimate goal. So any win you can get, especially in division, is going to be massive for them. And I think they just have less I think they're just not as good a team as the Titans are. So
I also
they need
think,
it. They need it more.
I think yes, they need it more. Partially it's because of the tie, because immediately it's like, yeah, it's not a loss, but you could have been 4-2, and instead you're 3-2-1.
It should be 4-2 because that tie was against fucking Houston.
Exactly, and I think that's what hurts more. It's like if you tie in a game where you're supposed to lose, I understand. They tied in a game that they were supposed to win.
Yeah,
That's
a lot.
not good. I think they need to figure out, is Matt Ryan that dude? Up until last week, he wasn't that dude, but now all of a sudden he came out, he had a great game. So now it's like, okay, are we going to get more of that Matt Ryan? Or was that just a fluke and he's going to return to being worse than Carson Wentz? And I mean, at the end of the day, Indy still kind of needs a quarterback. Like they need to start, looking for somebody like long term, like even if it's a development. But you want to at least, if you want to say, okay, we think we can win with Matt Ryan, you got to start winning with Matt Ryan. Tennessee, they got Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill, he'll probably be out of there soon. I don't think he's not doing great.
If Carson Wentz could bounce around for a couple teams, I think Tannehill might still have a chance after Tennessee. I don't know where you'd end up.
He'll have a chance. But I think Tennessee is starting to think about life after Ryan Tannehill.
They're gonna have to start thinking about life after King Henry too. Sadly,
because I think once Henry and Tannehill are off the team, they got nothing.
They're both gonna go. Yeah, like they're gonna get rid of Tannehill because they got to find something better and start working towards a new future. And Henry is too good of a player to waste his time on a team that's going to be rebuilding.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of like Marshawn Lynch with the Bills, where like he started with the Bills, but there was just no way we could really keep him. Honestly, we were kind of glad to see him go because he like ran over somebody on like in the city and like hit and run, like literally ran a woman over.
He also spent a little too much time at what was it, TGI Fridays?
I can't remember. It was all blur. Like he was.
It was one of them.
It was a little fucked.
Yeah.
But he was also too good of a player for the team that he was playing for. So, yeah. I mean, I'm actually curious to see where those two players end up in the next couple of years. That'll be an interesting thing. Imagine Derrick Henry on the Bills. Oof.
Boy, okay.
I can dream. I don't give a shit about Christian McCaffrey. I like the guy. He's a good running back, but he just doesn't fit with what we have. But give me Derrick Henry, another freak athlete. Like, can you imagine doing, Allen doing those RPOs with fucking Henry and like somebody needing to make either a business decision against against Derrick Henry or Josh Allen, 2 6'4" monsters. Either way that ball goes, it's not going to be a good day. Anyway, a guy can dream.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else to talk about? I just kind of threw a couple buttons in there to see what you guys thought.
I think I'm all talked out.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good way to wrap it up. So we'll just see how these games go. We have 8 games that we're looking at for the points or for the picks.
This could be the moving week.
It could be. I think I'm gonna go down, but I am okay with that because I like making ballsy claims because I'm gonna be like one of those talking heads where he makes bullshit claims that pisses off the internet. He makes like 20 of them, and like one time he's right, and then he clings to that for the next 40 weeks. That's me. That's me right now. All right, we're done. Goodbye, everybody. No more show. Say goodbye.
Show's over.
Oh, God, you already said it.
Go do something with your life.
No!